You know what? There's nothing more cathartic than spending time with guys that all believe and all want desperately to improve and atone. And today was that kind of day. I thought we had great effort. I thought that we wanted to be better, and it's fun to be out here with kids that are willing to do that. Unfortunately, I think everybody here is well aware that we've had to discipline a couple of players. Morrell Presley and Josh Smith will miss our next game for violation of team rules. Other than that, I can't comment. I'm disappointed in both kids and for both kids, and hopefully they'll learn the valuable lesson that can be learned from this kind of penalty and discipline. But I'm very excited to be back out on the practice field. I believe in our team, I believe in our guys, I believe in our coaches, and I believe that we're going to rise up and play good football in the second half of the season.
Rick, when are you going to hear on the appeals with other kids?
I have no other comment on any of that.
Does this team have a pot problem?
I have no comment on any of that.
Do you have them apologize? What's your structure in terms of, do you have those kids apologize to their teammates? Is that necessary?
We've had a conversation as a football team about what we think is appropriate behavior, and it's up to each individual to adhere to the behavior, and when you cross the line, then there are sanctions.
How quickly does an appeals process here get taken care of?
I have no comment on any of that.
How often are kids at UCLA, athletes at UCLA, drug tested?
I'm not at liberty. I'm not at liberty to comment. And you know what?
But that's a
But it's not for me to comment on.
Well, who can comment on that?
The university has its policy, and I am not at liberty to comment on it. Not on any of that. Not on any of that. I've told you who's suspended. I've told you it's a violation of team rules. I don't want to be argumentative with you, but I'm not at liberty to talk about those issues. They have their rights and their privacy issues, and that's the way it is. We're a University of California institution, and that's just the way it is. I think the memo spelled it out.
Concerned with Josh in terms of depth at the kickoff?
You know, I'm concerned anytime we don't have a player for reasons other than injury or emergency. You know, it's not the way you'd like to do things, but it's a teachable moment, and we're going to take advantage of the teachable moment. At quarterback? Corner. Well, the good news is Sheldon Price MRIs were negative. It's just a sprain. So hopefully we'll have him back quickly. I wouldn't even rule him out for the Oregon game. But I wouldn't rule him out. But we'll see. And then Anthony Jefferson, unfortunately, will be lost for the year. We have Aaron Hester, we have Andrew Abbott, and we have Courtney Viney, and then we'll look at some other combinations. See, we want good competition there. You know, Aaron has had some troubles, but I believe in Aaron Hester, and I believe that competition's good for everybody, and I think Aaron Hester's still got a lot of good football ahead of him.
Who's your kick returner then if Smith's out?
Probably Damian Thigpen.
And talk about the situation. Where's Barr at in terms of being ready?
Well, our training room believes that he'll be ready by the weekend,
okay.
And hopefully, you know, that we're fortunate that we've gotten a little extra time with him. So I'm hopeful that he'll be ready by Sunday's practice.
What about Rosario?
Keep your fingers crossed. He's trying hard to get back.
Last year you were next to last in the league in rushing, and now you're up there. But you've kind of traded with the passing.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate trading that much, but we certainly are aware of our issues, and we're working hard to address them and fix them.
Have you sold out too much of the run, or I mean, obviously in those games you wanted to keep the other team off the field.
The conclusion based on the numbers would be yes, but in the games that we've been successful, and we still do have 3 wins, we've been able to control the game with the running game, and that's a weapon in and of itself. So we didn't try hard to throw in those games. But in games where if things get going the other way, and in games where we've gotten behind and needed to come back at the throwing game, we've been unable to do so. So we've got to get much better in the throwing game, and I gotta believe we can, because we have. So nothing's changed in terms of personnel and with coaches. So we've got to just get back to doing that, and that's another benefit that we get from some extra time.
Did you guys maybe take passing for granted a little bit with who you had back? And
you know, those are great questions, and you know, right now all I know is we have to dig down and find ways to get it back as quickly as is possible.
Will you take the quarterback situation into next week, or are you going to have things settled out?
You know, fair question. I haven't made that determination. I would say that it will go into at least early next week. I would say we'd like to probably solidify something Sunday or Monday, but I'm not going to hold myself to that. You know,
What are you looking for from those guys?
I want consistency. I want leadership. I want management, and I want consistency. And I don't think any coach in the country wants anything other than that. I mean, big plays are wonderful, but we got to be consistent. We got to hit balls that we should hit, and I believe that both these guys can do that. I really do, and I want a good, healthy dose of competition. Hopefully, will get us going and get them both to be ready to play.
With the extra time, you know, in preparation for Oregon, when do you start looking specifically at them?
Oh, we're on to Oregon. We did not install a game plan, certainly at this point, but we're on to Oregon. They're an explosive ball club, deserving of their ranking. Shoot, they might be the #1 team, you know, by the time we get there, pending the Ohio State-Wisconsin game. So it's a great challenge, but you know, we're conceding nothing. We want to go and play, and we want to play well, and we want to atone for a subpar performance in Berkeley.
What are you trying to contain with them? Is there one thing that you can focus on?
No, they've got lots of weapons on offense. You just have to do a great job of being disciplined, being where you're supposed to be, and then you got to do a great job of tackling. But like always, we're excited for the challenge.
What's the practice schedule like with no Saturday game and then Thursday next week?
We're going to practice tomorrow and Thursday. Take Friday for the coaches to go recruiting. Players will lift, and then Saturday we'll have a day off for the players. Coaches will be in working on plan, and Sunday we'll resume practice, and it'll be much like a Tuesday practice, and then lead up into the game. You were counting on Sunday off? Sorry.
I'll keep the steaks in the freezer this week.
Yeah, or move them up to Saturday. There you go. And I apologize for not being able to comment more on the other. It's not like I want to avoid the questions. It's just a university policy, and I appreciate everybody understanding that. And hopefully these kids will learn a valuable lesson, and we'll move forward.
one last thing. Sorry. SI's got a thing coming out this week about Sean Lapel acknowledging he took money when you were here from an agent. Any comment on that? Have you seen the story?
Yeah, Mark just informed me of it earlier today. I had no idea. I remember the time very, very well, and he and Tommy Maddox were both considering coming out, and I remember having a long, hard conversation with him, heart-to-heart conversation with him, and telling him he was better off staying, and I truly believed it at the time, and I had no idea that there was any arrangement like that. He never confided in me in any sort of way, and I was as close to Sean as anybody.